If someone says this to you, they're not real. Fake people always say this, and you've probably missed the signs. 1. I'd never do that to you. They will. They're just warming you up. 2. I'm just being honest. No, they're being cruel and hiding behind the truth. 3. You're too sensitive. They hurt you, then blame you for reacting. Classic manipulation. 4. Trust me. The real ones show you. Fakes need to say it. 5. Everyone's talking about you. That's gossip, and they're the source. 6. I was just joking. They throw shade, then call it humor. Pay attention. 7. You've changed. You grew. They didn't. Now they want to pull you back.
It's so bizarre being in a relationship with a narcissist. Because they'll shame you in private. They'll even shame you in public. And then somehow make you feel guilty for the way you reacted to it. And that's the part that messes with my head. He would say something mean to me. Something degrading. Something completely unnecessary. And then when I used to call it out, I was being too sensitive. And all of a sudden it was me who was the problem because I couldn't take a joke. And I'll never forget taking him to Key West for his birthday one year. I planned a trip. Got a really nice resort. And I wanted to celebrate him. I wanted him to be happy and to know how much he was appreciated and loved and all. Ready to go. It was our second night. Actually going to another resort. First one was on Marathon. This one was actually in Key West. And I remember we were parking at the resort. And he was on the phone with his siblings. And out of nowhere he says, "Move, bitch, you're in my way." And he was talking to me. And I just looked at him, confused, and I was like, why would you say that? That's so rude. And he started laughing. And it was so unnecessary. And it was so humiliating. Because he did it while he was on speakerphone with his siblings. And instead of apologizing, he looks at me and says, "God, I was just joking. You can't even take a joke." And in that moment, I just shook my head and I was disgusted with him. He always somehow turned me into the problem, no matter what. The problem wasn't his. He didn't see a problem with him name-calling me, disrespecting me in front of anybody. It's even in front of our own children. My children were right there in the car while he said that to me. And the reason why he told me to move, bitch, is because I was putting my head down when he was trying to park. And he was moving forward into the parking spot. I don't know why he needed to use the rearview mirror on my end, but that's why he told me to move. But again, he only saw my reaction as the problem, and that is 100% manipulation. They put the guilt trip on you for feeling bad when they say something mean, and they disguise their cruelty as humor. And if you don't laugh, you're not cool. You're not wanting to have fun, you're not wanting to keep the peace. And it was disgusting because for many, many years he would tell me in a joking way, apologize, apologize. Even when he did me wrong. It was always a joke to him that I needed to apologize to him. And I've said it before, I didn't realize until recently that he was my biggest hater. He was hating on me for a very long time. It didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter how much effort I put in. He always needed to put me down. He always needed to tell me that I was trying to be the victim by calling him out on his cruelty towards me. And he tested me, how much disrespect I would tolerate, and I tolerated it all. I tolerated it all, from physical abuse to emotional abuse to abandonment. And that's what's really scary. I consider myself a strong person, very emotionally intelligent. But how did I get manipulated into accepting this as normal? I started thinking, yeah, he's right, I am too sensitive. I started shrinking. I felt that way for a very long time, that being with him had made me feel small. And that's how it builds. It starts with the small comments, the small humiliations, the small jokes, until one day you look back and you realize how badly you were being degraded the entire time. And it's almost been 2 years since that Key West trip, and I'm reflecting on it now for what it was. It wasn't playful. It wasn't harmless. It was 100% disrespect. And he wanted to humiliate me. He wanted to punish me. And it doesn't matter if I am single the rest of my life or if I do meet somebody in the future. I will never tolerate that disrespect ever again. You know, I went through it with my brother-in-law more recently. He was trying to make me look like I was the problem. And I was not tolerating it. I called him out for what he was doing. And if I do ever see him, I will call him out and say, "Who the hell do you think you are?" My relationship with my sister is strained because of him. And I'm not comparing him to my ex, but he is pretty terrible. He is a pretty terrible person as well, and my sister puts up with a lot of his shit and a lot of disrespect too. Anyway, that's for Dill. So calling out these toxic men and then blaming us for reacting to their terrible behavior, that's a huge red flag. If somebody shames you and then makes you feel guilty for having the feelings, that's not love. Stop accepting behavior that chips away at your dignity. You are not being too sensitive. You are not being dramatic. You are reacting to being disrespected. And once you are able to finally see that clearly, that's the moment you stop tolerating it. And I'm so glad I could see clearly. I will never tolerate anybody's disrespect ever again. Fuck y'all.